Tracy Pooler is a graduate of Lindsey Wilson College, and she's worked at the college, the best I could calculate today, about 25 years. In that time, she's been director of alumni, director of evening college, director of admissions, and for the last few years, she's served as the dean of admissions. Tracy is married to Willis Pooler, who serves as our athletic director, and they have 3 awesome sons, Lucas, who is in junior high, and Tanner and Jacob, who are currently students here at Lindsey Wilson College. I don't think in my 30-some years in higher ed that I've ever worked with anyone who is more talented and more capable. She is an exceptional leader who goes above and beyond every day to meet the needs of the folks on her team and our students. She embodies the spirit of L3. She is a joy to work with and just a tad bit competitive. If you would help me welcome Miss Tracy Pooler.
Thank you. I couldn't decide in my speech if I was going to say thank you, Dr. Adams, thank you, Paul Diener, thank you, Paul. So I also, speaking of competitive, if I seem distracted, I just got a text from my husband that our youngest son hit a double into center field and tied up the game. So I want to say that I was really honored when Natalie asked me if I would share my philosophy of leadership with you. But I have to tell you, my first thought was, do I even have a philosophy of leadership? You see, I've just always worked really hard. I've tried to do things well, and I've really been fortunate to have some key people take an interest in me, invest time and energy in me, or I would not be where I am today. So as I put my philosophy of leadership to paper, for me, the progression of leadership comes in 3 phases. Phase 1, ordinary people doing exceptional things. Phase 2, leadership with a title. And then phase 3, leading people by walking behind them. You know, just based on my personal experience, I believe that the phases may easily overlap. And to truly work well, we should all feel a responsibility to help others advance through the phases. So phase 1, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. My phase 1 consisted of my parents and older brother instilling a strong work ethic in me. It also consisted of coaches whom I did not always like. If you are a student athlete, you know what that means, but I respected those coaches. It consisted of way too many teachers and later professors, to name them by name, and it consisted of at least one strong female role model who in my preteen years taught me to be an independent, strong female. All of these people influenced me and pushed me to attempt extraordinary things. But you know, I don't need to define phase 1 for you. It's why we're here. We are here to celebrate this evening all of this room full of driven, seemingly ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You know, whether it's the student who nearly single-handedly revived the USA Club swimming program when the program nearly shut down, or maybe it's that student who majored in media studies, minored in communication, focused in journalism, interned at the Adair Progress, spearheaded the political debates on campus, and has been offered a grad assistant position at Syracuse University. Maybe it's that young person who helped launch the LWC Campus Kitchen and has completed over 1,300 hours of service. Maybe it's that team captain who has to be the liaison between coach and players and has to know how to lead and still be a part of a team. Or perhaps it's that student who joined with others and started a green initiative to have water bottles recycled into caps and gowns for future graduating classes, all while promoting being kind to the environment. And honestly, I got a little nervous looking at faces and thinking, but I need to mention them, and I need to mention them. And so I could go on and on. But what I can tell you is these students, none of them did these things for any praise or any title. They simply did it to make a difference. So speaking of titles, that's my phase 2. My philosophy of leadership is when the leadership title comes. A person establishes their presence and makes an impact, and she or he is rewarded with a title. This is the phase that begins the leadership challenge as it pertains to how you interact with those that you are responsible for leading as a supervisor. You know, Jim Rohn, a well-known leadership speaker, said, "The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly." I would sum that up much less poetically and say, in short, are you able to get everyone in the boat to row the same direction with the same course pattern, trusting your guidance as the captain? The third and final phase of my leadership philosophy, which I personally think is the most challenging, is leading people by walking behind them. This is the phase where your legacy as a leader must be larger than yourself. It is the most challenging because you must be confident and secure, and you must believe that the best thing you can do is to ultimately develop leaders and people to hopefully perform even better than yourself. For me personally, it means finding the Charity Fergusons, the Emily Carnells, the Hannah Pecks, the Laura Burwashes, the Sarah Begleys, the Amy Thompson Wellses, and the Natalie Vickuses. You must empower people whom you lead to have ideas, implement them, and grow into the next generation of leaders. It doesn't mean as a leader you become insignificant. It means you have a responsibility to make the phases of leadership progress. You'll be familiar with the people who have done this very thing for me and have played a key role in developing me as a leader. For example, Denise Fudge. Denise is a strong female role model. Much of what she has done for me has been while walking behind me. You know, we hear in the news about inequality between the pay of men and women, but we don't necessarily hear about how women are some of the very worst about holding other women back professionally. As a female leader, be confident, strong, and empower other women. Do not let insecurity make you feel threatened. Be a Denise Fudge as a leader, and hopefully you see that in a Tracy Pooler. Dr. John Begley definitely walked behind me. He forced me to problem solve, trust my instinct, and allowed me to be creative. He was instrumental in teaching, Shoot, I thought I'd make it. I really did. He was instrumental in teaching me as a leader, you have a responsibility to surround yourself with people who are as smart, if not smarter than yourself. That is how you leave a legacy. Finally, Dr. Dean Adams drove home the idea of treating others with compassion, working together, and providing support while leaving room for mistakes, or as he affectionately calls them, teachable moments. I'm sure you know you could ask 10 other people to share their philosophy on leadership, and I would dare say they would all be slightly different. So my question to you would be, who has invested in you? Who has helped you be the best version of you? Then my other question would be, who will you do that for? Who will you do that for? You know, isn't that what leadership really is, regardless of any philosophy? I'm so proud to be part of Lindsay Wilson. One of my greatest joys is watching our students blossom. We are blessed to have a room full of seemingly ordinary students doing extraordinary things. I know styles and philosophies may change over time in leadership because people continue to write books and people buy them and sell them and all that good stuff. But for me, John Quincy Adams said it best, and his words have withstood the test of time. He said it quite simply, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a leader. The young people who we celebrate tonight are leaders in their own right, and I look forward to witnessing their continued leadership and the difference they will make for others and our world. Thank you, first of all, for putting up for my emotionalness. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this evening and giving me a chance to take part in celebrating the many bright and talented people, young people, who call Lindsey Wilson College their home. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Chris Schmidt. This is the recognition portion of our presentation tonight in the program, but I want to take a moment first to ask Ms. Tracy Pooler to come back up. Tracy is, she used the words, she worked hard, ordinary people, strong, but I can tell you I've been here at the college for 21 years. We've worked together a very, very long time, and she is, without a doubt, one of the hardest working professionals I've ever worked with. One of the most caring individuals, not only on a professional level, but on a personal level. And she exemplifies the mission of this college every single day with how she cares for our students and leads them and helps build new leaders. So let's give her a round of applause, and we have something we'd like to appreciate her with.
This is my better side. So
Thank you
so much.
Like I said, this is the recognition portion of the program, and I think we need to begin first by saying a few thank yous because there's a lot of people here in the crowd tonight. I want to start again, like everyone else has, by thanking all of the students that are in this room. There's not just students receiving the award tonight, but as I look out, we have students that are working on programs for their classes. They've joined us today. They're working on a project for their class, and they're filming and writing a story for, I believe, Dr. Gauguin's class. But thank you all for having it. The students are what make this place operate. It's why we come to work every single day. It's to celebrate students every single day. So I want to start out by thanking them. I tried to go around and shake hands and meet as many people, but the parents, the family, and all the special guests that are sitting around our students today, thank you all so much for being here because, as Tracy said, you're kind of behind them, guiding them. You've set the example. There's a number of faculty and staff here. As I look around, I know I've said hello to you, and I want to thank you all for coming because so many of you are the ones who have made the recommendations for these students. You're the ones that are out there every single day helping to grow these students and deliver the mission in a very special way. It would be remiss of me not to recognize one of my mentors, Dr. Begley. The other day at the softball field, he said to me, Chris, he says, I wouldn't have missed this for anything in the world. And I appreciate every time you make an effort to be here. So thank you very much. Also, our entire administration, I see a lot of our vice presidents here, and you guys are the leadership that guide, or the guiding hand that make it possible for all of us to do what we do and deliver the mission. So thank you all very much. The L3 committee, I'm pleased to serve on the L3 committee along with Dr. Dean Adams, Miss Ashley Miller, Miss LaFawn Nettles. Abe Cross is also with us tonight. Miss Jennifer Firkin I saw. Dr. Benson Sexton, I just like saying that because he just became a doctor. Dr. Benson Sexton. Sarah Begley, Amy Thompson-Wells, and Miss Natalie Vickus. I'd also like to recognize a few people. If you could, we're going to stop for a half a second and recognize if you are a past L3 recipient, would you please stand? If you're a guest with us tonight, if you're a past L3 recipient, let's give these folks a big round of applause. Thank you all so much. There are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and as you see, we have the great people from public relations, Venus Popwell and Travis Smith, who document and record so much and create the stories and put the things together that talk about the wonderful things that our students are doing every single day. So thank you all very much. And this wonderful meal that was provided and put together by Jeff Willis, Joanne Panko, Miss Suzanne Blakeman, and all the wonderful folks from the Kramer Dining Center. A big round of applause. They listen in the back. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. I usually save him till last, but you got bumped this year, President Lucky. I want to thank you for the leadership that you give every single day to this entire institution and for the many years that you've contributed to help and guide us. And President Lucky, as you'll find out, is the person who created the gifts and the awards that are going to go out tonight to you all. The last person I want to recognize is Miss Natalie Vickus. You know, I've had the pleasure, we've all had the pleasure of working with Miss Amy Thompson-Wells for years, but when she moved over to the President's office, you know, Natalie stepped into her shoes and has filled that role. And no offense, Amy, but Natalie is just killing it. And Natalie, all of this is not possible without Miss Natalie Vickus. Thank you so much, Natalie. As Dean Adams said, tonight marks the 9th consecutive L3 Student Leadership Banquet. And tonight we are here. We are here. You've heard it once, you've heard it twice, 3 times. We are here to celebrate students who live, learn, and lead every single day. It is my privilege to begin this ceremony by asking President Lucky to join me at the podium. When I call your name, will you please come up and be recognized for your outstanding leadership and join President Lucky next to the podium. Please stand and make sure you get a picture with President Lucky. Miss Abigail Biddle. Miss Emily Garrison. Mr. Jacob Saylor. Mr. Logan Adams. Mr. Patrick Atkins. A couple of years ago, we made the decision to start including our community campuses. Lindsey Wilson College has a big footprint, and I'm pleased to say that this next gentleman that is with us has traveled all the way down with his family from our Logan, West Virginia campus. He's a graduate student, Mr. Charles Bowman. Olivia, I don't know if my son's playing against your brother, so I don't know who's up right now. Have you gotten the score?
Yes, 13-3.
Next on your program, you'll see Miss Olivia Burton. You win some, lose some.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I still love you.
I still love you.
Was that district or not?
Yes, it was district. Yes, it was a district game. To go home and counsel my son when we get home. Next, Mr. Turk Doryal. How'd I do, Turk? Is it okay? Thank you, brother. Miss Mackenzie Montano. Miss Lily Pearson. And Miss Lainey Phelps. At this time, I'm going to ask Miss Amy Thompson-Wells to come to the podium for the recognition of our most outstanding L3 recipients.
Thank you, sir. I'm not going to look at you, because if I do, I will emote. So, yes. Good evening. My name is Amy Thompson-Wells, and I am the Executive Assistant to the President. And I am here to introduce our first recipient, Miss Abby Biddle. It was approximately 3 years ago, I met a young lady from Butler High School who I knew, here I go, would be a special addition to this campus. Abby, her parents, Alan and Heather, came to campus so Abby could complete her class schedule with me. We talked about several things, but one of those things was service and her passion for working with students who are differently abled. You could see how much passion this young lady had for helping others. It was infectious. As they prepared to leave, I noticed Alan had tears in his eyes. And I'm sure he was thinking, this is about to get real. His little girl would be going to college soon. So I told him not to worry. We would take good care of his little girl. But the truth is, Alan, she has taken really good care of us. She continues to work extremely hard for the Bonner program, for this institution, and for this community. She represents Lindsey Wilson College extremely well. You should be so proud of her. For those of you all who don't know Abby that well, let me tell you that Abby is giving, she is funny, she is smart, she is dependable, she is accepting, she is loving, and she is a leader. Along with helping others, Abby is also very passionate about her education. She is an elementary education major and one day hopes to help other young people become leaders in their community. Her advisor, Missy Arnold, states, Abby is an enthusiastic and diligent student. She puts forth great effort in everything she does and goes above and beyond to be successful. Her leadership in securing Campus Kitchen and her work as a Bonner Scholar demonstrates her commitment to the community and to Lindsey Wilson College. She takes great pride in her work, whether it's working with children in Miss Garman's special education class, to painting houses in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew devastation. She shows creativity, critical thinking, and innovation when leading activities. She is the ideal Bonner, but she's even a better person. During my time in the Bonner program, there hasn't been another student who has made a greater impact in this Adair County community than Abby Biddle. She has been the student who has led the Campus Kitchen initiative and helped it become successful with the guidance from our own little Natalie Vickus. If it wasn't for her leadership and commitment to this program, I truly believe it would have floundered. Through her leadership and outreach, this program is now serving 68 clients in the Columbia-Adair County community. She is an LWC changemaker for certain. Abby, you are a fantastic human being who is a role model and an inspiration for so many. Thank you for being a catalyst of change on our campus. It is with great pleasure I present Abigail Shawn Biddle the L3 Leadership Award. go. I love you.
Thank you, Amy. Okay. I wasn't going to bring my glasses, so I couldn't see your all's faces, but my roommate made me bring them. So, thank you again to Amy and all your sweet words. I never fathomed during my whole time here that I would be getting a leadership award. I never considered myself a leader until I met Amy. Just ask Schmitty and Amy about freshman year Abby in their leadership class. So I firmly believe that a leader is a reflection of the team of people that they have behind them. So I wouldn't be where I am today without these people. Obviously, I wouldn't be here today without God. From Isaiah 58:10, and if you spend yourself on behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness and your night will become like noonday. God, thank you for giving me a platform to not only serve your people, but share your light. To Natalie, thank you. Thank you for taking me on this crazy journey with you. I would not be up here if it was not for you. And thank you for seeing a passion in me, and just like any good teacher would, encouraging the student to get up on front and stage and make a speech. To my Bonner mom, Amy, I'm so thankful that Jake Saylor told me to email you freshman year and come to Lindsey Wilson College. A girl from an urban city coming to rural Kentucky was a big transition, but you made it worthwhile. Everyone here made it worthwhile, but especially Amy. Thank you for not only encouraging my little heart, even though I've scared yours numerous times. I'm so grateful to you. To the committee and those who nominated me, thank you for recognizing me with this honor. I consider it a privilege to serve for Lindsey Wilson College, and I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I've been presented here. Without these opportunities, I would not be able to give back to a community that means so much to me, a community that has become home. To Big Dog, Paul Diener, Val Adams, President Lucky, and Elise, I wish you were here. Without your support, Campus Kitchen wouldn't even be here. Thank you for donating time by volunteering, or just donating time by giving us food items when needed. To our leadership staff, Emily, could you stand up so everybody can see you? This woman is the best woman. Everyone give her a round of applause, please. Emily served as our quick shift leader, and she's done an impeccable job. From taking over extra shifts when needed to just being there when I needed a shoulder to cry on. Thank you. And to all my other staff who aren't here tonight. And to our constant volunteers who show up when needed. Oh, by the way, we need volunteers for Saturday shift. If anyone is for delivering cook shift. So thank you all. Thank you, Emily. To Mom, Dad, and Maddie, I wouldn't be doing this without your love and commitment. Thank you for instilling in me a passion for social justice and to fight for when I know something's not right. To Lainey, Logan, and Haley, and all my professors who have become like family to me. Thank you for being so patient and understanding with me. I'm looking at you, Lainey. This has been a whirlwind year, and from extending deadlines to even just letting me cry, I really appreciate you guys, and you've gotten me through more than you'll ever know. Lastly, I want to thank the one who's received the most backlash on my worst days, and has only shown me love and understanding. Sean, thank you for never letting me give up, even when I really want to. So, I never cry. In conclusion, Bringing the campus kitchen at Lindsey Wilson College seemed like a daunting and difficult and impossible task, but it happened. I didn't know what I signed up for. Natalie didn't know what she signed up for. It's a lot of paperwork. But we've not only survived but flourished. Like Amy said, we're at 68 clients now, and we started with around 40. So that's almost 70 people who are consistently getting meals every Saturday. And we're going to be implementing a nutrition education curriculum because the answer is not just feeding people. We need to make sure that they understand where food comes from, how to grow their own food, just stuff. So by finding your passion and caring, I think, and caring so much that you decide to make a change, I think that is what L3 is all about. My leadership is fueled by a passion for helping my clients, and I'll never forget. I was doing delivery shift one weekend, and it was our last client, and I love them so dearly. And they battle with rheumatoid arthritis, and I asked if there was anything I could do to help, and they just said to put their meal in the fridge for them. And all that was in their fridge was a can of Vienna sausages and a pack of bologna. So that's why I do this. So they don't have to go through that. They know that they will get a meal every weekend. I would like to close with a quote. Let our hearts and hands be stretched out in compassion towards others, for everyone is walking his or her own difficult path. Thank you.
Hi. So I didn't realize that Abby was going to basically do my introduction for me, because I'm presenting Emily Garrison, and she's already stood up. You've already clapped for her, so I'm done, right? I can just go.
Skip my part too, right?
Yeah. My name is Natalie Vickus, and I'm the Director of Civic Engagement and Student Leadership here at Lindsey Wilson College. Let me tell you a little bit about Emily Garrison. She will graduate in a few short weeks with a degree in Sustainability and Energy Applications and a minor in Christian Ministries. She's been a resident assistant at Lindsey Wilson College for the past 3 years and has been involved in countless organizations both on campus and off, including the Sustainability Learning Community, Energy Club, Raider Rage, Kentucky Campus Compact Student Advisory Board, and of course the Campus Kitchen at Lindsey Wilson College. Not only is she involved in these organizations, she holds leadership positions in them and manages her time gracefully and with ease. Rarely do you see a student who is so involved in everything, but she does it beautifully. I've had the joy of getting to know Emily through her involvement this year with the Campus Kitchen. She jumped on board before we even knew what the Campus Kitchen would look like and handled all of the changes and setbacks with flexibility and poise. I can always count on her no matter what I need. Like Abby said, she leads cook shifts, helps with recovery, recruits fellow students to help, and she meal plans better than anyone I have ever met. Just imagine meal planning for 70 people with food that you've recovered that week, and she does it so well. Last semester, I made a joke that Emily was basically our cook shift leader and recovery shift leader and delivery shift leader and recruitment leader and so on. And I was joking, but I think we all know that every joke holds a grain of truth. I knew then, and I know now, that I can count on Emily to do anything I ask her and to do it well. Emily has the kind of outspoken energy and personality that makes her a natural leader. She's not afraid to speak her mind or guide a group. She doesn't shy away from responsibility, and she embraces every opportunity to grow. This semester, I've been so excited to see a new side of Emily's leadership, and that's the side that is encouraging other student leaders to take over her position after she leaves. She teaches them how to manage all of the tasks, and then she steps back and she watches them thrive. As Ralph Nader said, the function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. Emily represents that idea beautifully. In just a year, I've seen the depth of Emily's commitment to this college and this community. She lives out the loving relationships she has with her residents and fellow LWC students, as well as the love she has for those she serves. She maintains a commitment to her education, as evidenced by her GPA, and takes her learning outside of the classroom to be applied. And she leads in so many ways, whether through appointed roles or not, that I doubt that there are many people on this campus who don't know and respect her. I've gotten to know Emily's servant's heart this year, and I could not be more proud to present her with the L3 Student Leadership Award.
Wow, so don't know how to follow Abby Biddle. Can we give her another round of applause for that, because that was an awesome speech. I don't feel like mine is as well planned out as hers, so yeah, that's great. And thank you, Natalie, for making me cry before I got up here, so excuse me as I'm a mess already. Thank you all so much. I am also like Abby. I'd never ever imagined in my 4 years here that this would happen and that I would be here. And that I would have grown as much as I have since freshman year. When I first got here, I wasn't involved in like anything at all. Like, I was the freshman that was like, okay, go to the cafe, eat dinner, okay, we're gonna go to class, oh, we're going back to my room, yep, my room, right? Staying there all the time, my friends come to me, didn't do anything. And then sophomore year, I was like, okay, let's do some things. And that's kind of where I started to flourish, and I never expected that I would be involved in as much as I am now. And I've been told that I need to learn to say no, so if that tells you anything. But this school has been such a blessing to me, and I'm sorry, and also to others as well. I've seen so many students that have grown here. I've seen Abby grow, she's one example, and Lainey as well. Both of them have been my residents before, so I've seen them sprout and grow more than I could have imagined. And I would like to also say a thank you to a few people. My mom and her boyfriend, Carol, are... Okay, restart that. My mom, Carol, and her boyfriend, Tom. Woo! Thank you both for the support and the love that you give me, and for helping me to want to strive to be a bigger and a better person than what I already am. Thank you to my professor, advisor, and friend, Doug Keaton, who's not here tonight, but I have known him since like day one, and yeah, so that's been insane. I didn't know what I was going to do when I got here, and then fell into the lap of sustainability, and here I am 4 years later. My mentor and friend, Natalie Vickus, and thank you for that lovely introduction and your kind words. And also thank you to Schmitty for also nominating me. I appreciate that so much. Thank you all for all of your love and support through the 4 years, because it has been tough and it has been a long 4 years. But I'd also like to thank the other faculty and staff on this campus, because even though I may not know some of you personally, or I do know some of you personally, you've had some kind of impact on my life, whether I've seen something that you've done or whatever, that's been on my heart, and I respect all of you for that. Leadership is a big deal here at Lindsay, obviously, or we wouldn't be here tonight. But it's such a great quality, I believe, to obtain and to grow in, because without leaders, where would the world be? Leadership plays a large role in my everyday life, and I strive to show others how to be a leader and what it means to be one. As a leader, you must be willing to step up to the plate, and you must tackle tasks that are thrown at you that you wouldn't even expect in your worst moments. You encourage others that they can do anything that they set their mind to. A person who is kind, caring, and compassionate for what they do, and they never back down, giving 110%. L3 has been a large portion of my life since attending Lindsey Wilson College. And I have grown to live in a way that I learned to lead more. Lindsey Wilson College and the people here have helped me grow in this way. My goal each year since my sophomore year has been to have an impact on one person's life, just one. And if I did that, I felt like I had done my job. And I hope that I have done that, if not more, since then. This school has helped to prepare me for my future and where I will go after the next 17 days when graduation is, and I will walk across the stage. And I'm so honored to be nominated for this award, and I thank everyone that had a part in this. You all will go far in life here. Congratulations to all the other people as well. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ashley Miller, and I have the privilege of introducing Mr. Jake Saylor. Jake is one of those students who you knew was special from the moment he stepped on campus, but he didn't quite know how yet. Inside the classroom, Jake has earned a 3.98 overall GPA and is scheduled to graduate with Lindsey Wilson's highest honors. However, it's what Jake has learned outside of the classroom that will prove much more valuable to his future career. He's learned to stop listening. It sounds counterintuitive to want to reward someone for not listening. But you see, Jake has been pushed into leadership roles he didn't want, projects he wasn't passionate about, and a career direction he had no intention of following. After deciding not to seek a second term as our student government president, Jake returned to the Governor's Scholar Program as resident assistant for his second summer and learned something incredible. You need to be passionate about what you're doing to be a true leader. He began a social media project called Humans of Lindsey Wilson, which mirrors the Humans of New York project. That initiative has proven more valuable for Jake's development as a journalist, but also as a leader in his local community. He's led a group of very talented, aspiring journalists to tell the stories of others and to celebrate diversity. In rural South Central Kentucky, it's strange to think about how diverse we truly are. But Jake and his team have found through Humans of Lindsey Wilson that diversity comes in all shapes and sizes and has started a conversation to celebrate someone's journey through life, not just their cultural background. It comes in understanding the impact of poverty, working through mental illness, the importance of education, and the will of an individual to succeed despite their circumstances. Jake began leading this initiative on campus, but has expanded it to include our community members, which has been deeply impactful and valuable to telling the story of those around him. Schmitty had this to say about Jake and his L3 nomination. Jake makes a difference with everyone he comes in contact with. He just wants to do well and help others. His selflessness is motivating and inspiring to others. Jake only has to ask, and an army of people will get behind him on any venture because they know there is meaningful purpose behind it. He's a person of integrity and humility, except when his beloved cards are playing and he's on a Twitter rant. Jake has used his LWC experience to the fullest and in a way we dream every Lindsey Wilson student should. When I was in career services, I would tell students all the time, Google yourself. Well, Jake, I've Googled you. In the first 10 hits, he's being honored at a leadership banquet for his role as SGA president, as a journalist covering the volunteer work our Bonner Scholars are doing with Campus Kitchen, and helping new students move in and get settled into their Lindsey Wilson home. I knew when he stepped on campus 4 years ago, he was one of those students that I would never forget, and one who would make a lasting impression on our sweet Southern Hilltop campus. I dare to say that we're only seeing the beginning of Jake's great adventure. And Jake, we are honored to have been the place where you learned to just be Jake. and to stop listening and to start doing. Please join me in recognizing Mr. Jake Saylor.
Oh shoot, before I get into the scripted part of this, I have 2 questions I need to ask. 1, how in the world did I get so lucky to have Ashley Miller introduce me? And 2, what social media website are you looking at? Because I've Googled my name and 87 other Jake Saylors pop up before I do. So I'm going to need the URL on that later. First and foremost, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, through whom all things were made and through whom we live. He is my passion, my love, and my motivation, and without his presence in my life, I promise you, I would not be standing in front of you today as the man that I've become. I would like to thank my parents next, who I'm not going to look at during this. The 2 people who are most responsible for me becoming the man I am today. The time, resources, and energy that they've invested into me are impossible to quantify, and my hope is that one day I will be able to invest in my children the same way. I also must speak to the godly influences that they've been in my life. Proverbs 22:6 says that if you train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. From an early age, I can recall the influence of the gospel in my life from them, and more importantly, I had parents who were a great example of the love laid out by the gospel. I think by now you could probably guess that the 2 things that matter most to me in life are my faith and the people who I've come to love. This second prong is what makes Lindsey Wilson so special to me. When I leave here, what I'll remember most is the people who I've had the distinct privilege of being shaped by, of being influenced by, of being molded by, and of working with and for. With this in mind, there are a few people I need to thank here at Lindsey. To the faculty, staff, and to the administrators who taught me, molded me, and steered me in the direction I needed to go, who helped turn me into the capable human being and member of society that I'm about to become. To the Ashley Millers, the Amy Thompsons, the Schmidties, and the Gogans, and the many, many more I've had the distinct privilege of knowing, thank you for believing in me and creating the space for me to succeed. From the faculty and staff, I have to move on to my friends next, the people who've lived next to me through the past 4 years. It feels like there are a million people that I could thank in this category, so for time's sake, I'll keep the specific thanks to the ones who've been involved in my life for all 4 years of my time at Lindsey. To Jonathan Joseph and Brent Will, you 2 have been positive influences on my life since the moments I met both of you. You all offered me somebody to vent to when times were tough, and you all gave me extra joy for when things were good. You all gave me friendship and brotherhood, and that is something that I truly hope I've been able to give back to both of you and others I've come across. To the countless others who have blessed me with their friendship, I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. To all of you who've encouraged me and blessed me along the way, who've lifted me up when I was down, who've rallied around me when I didn't think I had anybody to rally around me. You all are truly the reason my experience here has been so great. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. For all of you who have been to me, for all that you have been allowed to me. Jeez, my goodness. Ashley Miller says some nice things about me, and all of a sudden I can't talk. Come on now. I'm going to restart this paragraph. I'm so thankful for all of you, for all you have been to me, and all. I'm just going to skip it. Thank you all for your time, and again, thank you to this committee for this humbling award. I'm truly honored to be up here in front of you all today. Thank you.
What a great night. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here, whether you were recognized or whether you're the family of someone who was recognized, a friend, a faculty member, administrator, someone who encouraged that leadership in them. We're so thankful that each and every one of you is here. If you were recognized tonight, please wait after the ceremony for pictures. But I will say that there's one more thing that actually was a late addition, so it didn't make it into the program. So if I could have Miss Hannah McCandless.
Hello, I'm Hannah McCandless. I'm the student body president here at Lindsey Wilson. Every year, the Student Government Association picks a member of the faculty and staff as the Remarkable Rater. The Remarkable Rater Award is given to a person who shows outstanding character and leadership and who lives the mission of the college by dedicating everything they do to the betterment of every student every day. Usually, we give this award during Lindsey Idol, but this person happened to be leading our college at a conference during that time. So we thought, what better time to present this award? What better time than when we are surrounded by the student leaders of Lindsey Wilson College? About our recipient, Amy Thompson Wells said, "He leads with an open heart and an open mind. He is not only an impactful leader, but a terrific human being." Natalie Vickus said, "He is an incredible leader because he is caring, charismatic, and hardworking. He reminds us why we're here, to put students first. Nothing makes my day more than a fist bump from Dean Adams and a 'How are you, little buddy?'" Abe Cross said, "Dean is a calming force who always reminds me of what true leadership is." LaFawn Nettles said, "I want to be him when I grow up." The thing about Dean Adams is that he leads like Tracy said. He leads from behind by pushing people forward to greatness. Dean Adams does not like to be recognized, making him one of the most deserving people of it. For that reason and so many more, the 2016-17 Remarkable Rater is Dean Adams.
Thank you. I thought tonight was a night for the students, not for me. And I do believe it's the first time my name has ever been preceded by Remarkable. This is my family, my 2 sons, my 2 daughter-in-laws, my awesome 3 grandchildren, to say the least. But to say I am surprised is a little bit of an understatement. So thank you. There are so many people here who deserve this award rather than me, but thank you to everyone who, I don't know, voted or whatever it was, but I will cherish this always. Thank you guys so very, very much. Appreciate it.
Dean, if you will look over at Mariah, I think your family in Texas is also watching too, and your wife Val and everybody else. So if you'll take a look at Mariah, your family in Texas is also aware. They've got their shirts on. They're going to see you later on.
Hey, that's awesome. Thank you.
If you have a shirt, feel free to come up and take pictures. And also, everyone who got an award, don't forget to stay for pictures. Thanks. Have a great night.